Hey everyone, just here, ready to needle felt. Hope you are too. It's me, and it's Falco. Say hi. He loves wool. He loves needle felting. He loves eating wool. It's one of his favorite things to do, so that's what we're gonna do today. It's definitely been a long week. It's been a long day, so I've got a few different things we can do. Pulling them out of my bag. My Chihuahua themed bag. Let's see. What have we got in the bag? Falco loves to eat wool, so I always have to keep an eye on him because my dog tends to get pretty hungry when I do this. But here he is again, if anyone wants to see him. Say hi, bud. He's very cute. He's very chill. He's the chill part of this session. He was probably just going to sit in my lap, or he's going to wander around and try to eat some wool stuff. So today we're going to be making some rainbows in the color of the trans flag. Let me pull out my stuff because I kind of made a few samples. The last few streams, I kind of just like went ham and like didn't really prepare too much, and because of that, like things like, for example, this Gandalf right here, just really weird looking, totally the wrong color. Kind of, if anyone watched the Super Bowl, it kind of looked like those weird guys with like skin wizard hats. It's a little unsettling. I just didn't have the right color. I didn't have enough, so I'm gonna have to try that one again. So it was pretty hilarious in the making. It's pretty creepy now that I look at it. It's got like a cool marbling texture. You can see it's got some like purple, some dark gray, light gray, even some white, I think. I just had like this vision and went for it, and it did not turn out like I wanted it to. So, ooh, we'll try it again another day. But just with all of the news today, pretty upsetting stuff happening if you're in the US. So just trying to like kind of remain calm and like keep my head above water and try to like, give some people just some inspiration, some hope, some ways to just like deal, I guess. Like it's just, oh man, it's really terrible the things that are happening. And today in particular, I don't know if you are aware and caught up with the news, but basically, with the situation with our government and Doge taking over and utilizing their access and power to like rewrite history. Not that people haven't done that before. It's just kind of sad to see it happen in real time. I think that's what makes it really tough. You read about things like this, but you don't necessarily like. You always wonder what it was like for people that were living through them, and I think we're learning. I think we're seeing that. I think that's what we're living in through right now. So today there was just another piece of evidence that they're trying to erase transgender people, and it's like absolutely bonkers and unnecessary and super hurtful and cruel, and going on websites and eliminating the T off of LGBT. I know the acronym is a lot longer, but they literally on the government websites now, it's just like LGB people, and like when it comes to gay rights, like any sort of rights past just what it means to be like a white dude with a penis, like just there's so many activists out there, so many people that have like suffered and died, and I mean, and for example, like the Stonewall Monument and memorial outside of the Stonewall Inn in New York City, they just removed all of the existence, all of the presence of trans people within that history and that website, and it's just terrible. It's just so cruel and unusual and unnecessary. to take that away from people, to take like people's existence and tell them that they're not real. It's happening like for a lot of people if you're not like, you know, in the seat of power. And even if you are a white dude with a penis, like you don't like, there's a lot of you out there that don't want this. And, you know, to have like a whole list of like DEI words that you can't say and can't put in grants and can't have on the website. And one of them being women, one of them being trans, and then black and Latino. It's just, again, cruel. And so I felt like I was just so angry all day, had this coming up. Didn't really want to cancel. It's good for, I like needle felting. It takes a lot of what I'm feeling out of my body, out of my head, and into something. I mean, you can see this is like literally a needle, and I'm stabbing wool together. Those of you that want to see a dog again, here he is. Before I put him down and let him eat my wool or try to break into my wool creations, I'll put him down. But so I just thought, you know, to show my support and my love for the community that is real and exists, and we shouldn't erase that. They're such a wonderful part of humanity and what makes us people, and it's just terrible. So I'm just decided to maybe craft something just to like honor them. And, you know, if any trans people pop in, any LGBT QIA plus pop in, like, I see you, you're here, I'm part of you, part of the community, and just like very angry at like what's going on right now. And if you're not here to get into these things, I did put a little rating up, but did put a little label up saying I talk about sensitive topics. So if you're not into it, like, you know, you can put me on mute. That's totally fine. I wouldn't take offense at all. So I'm just using the trans flags colors today, and I'm going to make a rainbow. I've already like started doing some of these things. Like I had a rainbow mold that I found. I think I found it at Michael's, and it was for clay. And I actually find a lot of cool little molds there that kind of look like just like really teeny tiny cookie cutters. The cookie cutters, obviously, like it's a great hack. Needle felting takes a long time. It's literally like stabbing wool over and over and over again. So for like hours, trying to mold your shapes and sculpt your shapes and give structure and depth to your creations, whatever you're trying to make. So I had that mold, and I was like, I definitely need to make a rainbow at some point. And then while all this stuff was going down today, and for the last like few weeks, all the reactions, everything, I was like, hey, I think it's time to make a rainbow. Rainbows are full of joy and wonder and just curiosity, like, comes from them. I think you see one, you're just like, wow, like, holy shit, like, how does that even work? It makes people happy to see a rainbow. It makes you just feel a little stronger, a little bit more empowered, a little bit more real. You exist. Just because someone says you don't, like, fuck them. Like, and I know they're loud. They're such loud people. Like, greasy wheel gets, no, squeaky wheel gets the grease. That's a thing. It's so true. It happens all the time. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had those coworkers that just are so fucking loud, and they get whatever they want just because they just won't stop talking or bitching or whatever it is like they want. Or maybe you have a sibling that way. It's just constant noise, and your parents are just exhausted, and they're like, they give up because it's just get them to be quiet for like a hot second. So here's your grease. You get it. And I just think that's the state of politics where we are right now. Just all these people that are so squeaky and saying all the worst things they could possibly think of to like create fear and uncertainty and just pain. And it's just really, really fucking sad. So I want to do something a little happy, but also like, you know, like I'm not the type of person that just can like sit back and just be like, okay, well, that's not me. Like I'm okay. Like bi people are fine right now, but it's like it's only a matter of time, guys. That's how I feel about them. Like they're just like not, if you've ever worked with a person who's like really vindictive, like they're not done when they take down that person that they've been going after for a while. Once, they might take a break and stuff, but once they like fulfill their quest or whatever, like they are like gonna go after the next person down the list. So like they're coming. It's only a matter of time, and unless someone can do something to stop them, or they do so much crazy shit that they somehow stop themselves, I don't know which one's gonna come before the other one. I don't know which one is actually worse for all of us or better. I don't know. But this is a little needle felted robot. I mean robot. Oh my gosh, rainbow. It's been a really long week. It's white and pink, and I mean the blue is kind of dark. I think I need to like lighten it a little bit. I was looking at the colors earlier, and like it's kind of only the lightest blue I had that wasn't just like totally washed out and like pastel-y egg, like baby robin egg blue, whatever it's called, baby blue. It's funny because I'm supposed to know more about colors, but I was at my parents' house today and someone told my dad, it's like a birthday celebration, and they were like, which candle do you want? And my sister says magenta, and she tells my dad that, and he's a scientist, and I'm just like, dude does not know which one is magenta. Like it's like they're all shades of pink and purple. Like he was like like did not know. He was waiting for her to say like the fourth one from the left, or like let me just grab it. It was pretty funny. So with needle felting, you've got all this like wool here. It's fluffy, like it's what can turn into felt when it's like compressed and stabbed over thousands and thousands of times with thousands and thousands of needles in a big honking machine. That's kind of where needle felting came from. It was just like, oh, let's like deconstruct this machine and just have one singular needle and a human and the wool itself, and let's make things out of it. So my white's been hanging around the red too much in the container. So there's some red streaks in here. But I have a few different variations like on this rainbow that I kind of wanted to show you guys and try to make. This white's a little big. I thought that the molds itself would like really be nice when it came to like fitting right in. And so I thought it was. It's kind of okay. Like it's just going to give a really small place for the white, and it's going to kind of, I don't know. I think I just have to like felt and tighten this even more. So what I did, I'll find that rainbow mold in a second, but I stuffed a bunch of wool in there and I made this little guy. Some of my other projects that I've shown on here, like I've just started from the way like very, very beginning, and you guys have like had to just watch me and listen to me. Like even this guy, like Gandalf, like had to watch me for a long time just like making this guy, and the whole point is not to be too squishy, to be a lot stiffer, so when you do like finer details with different gauge needles, ow, got myself. Yeah, watch out, stabby. This whole thing is stabby. That's why it feels good though. It feels good to be stabby. That's why I like this hobby, this craft. Other ones can get stabby, like if you've got like a knitting needle and sewing needles. That would be terrible to get just like a sewing needle through your finger. I definitely have heard about it. I don't know. I've seen it. It's definitely happened. I took sewing in high school and it got real bloody. It was bad. Bad news. So you don't want that to happen. Yeah, so I guess a lot of fiber arts like get a little dicey. I've got my little like motto, or not motto, but like don't let the bastards grind you down, if you can see that card. It was there. My iPhone is doing some weird shit with this camera. I don't know why it just like follows certain things, but it always is like fucking zooming in and zooming out, and I'm just like, stay centered, and I don't know how to do that. So if anyone's watching on YouTube, really sorry. Because that's like, you can't even see it. I mean, maybe if I move this over here, then my iPhone will chill. I'm like, stop moving. I watched so many videos, but like nowhere near enough videos to actually understand like Streamlabs and like really how to like make this state of the art type of situation when it comes to like video and sound and everything. Definitely doing my best on the budget version for sure. But it's definitely better than like the first few times I tried and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I think I could make these skinnier. So what you can do if you want, you can put a piece of paper over your finger here if you want to, but honestly, it just makes it harder for me to hold on to the wool. So I just have to like, because I used a little mini cookie cutter for this rainbow, it's like very flat and not as like round as I want it to be. And that's probably why it's not totally fitting in with the blue. So I actually kind of want to round it out. And a good thing when you first start doing needle felting, like if you do it without a mold, like you would just rotate your shape. And so each side would get a lot more love. But when you use a cookie cutter, you can get flat real fast. But I can try to pull everything in just a little bit on that one. So maybe he fits. And we're going to have a flat rainbow. And I've realized I'm not really that into this. But maybe I can felt them together and somehow come to a good place where I feel really great about them. So right now what I'm doing is poking through the blue at a very, very low angle to get the pink to fit. And so really what these needles do, they have little notches in them, and they're all like different shapes and sizes, and or the shape is the point shape. It's can be like a triangle, or there's even like twisted ones, and they all do different stuff. But this one, these notches on this needle are gonna help the blue push into the pink and then stay. I can even see some of that blue, so I'm gonna have to pink over top of this. But yeah, so interesting. I've never really done it from like a flat angle before. Like most of my stuff like tends to be pretty rounded. Like you've got this little cute dinosaur, rainbow dinosaur. Like he's not flat at all. There's really not much flat about him except for his little spikes or scallops over here. But so this will be the first time kind of pushing kind of almost like one flat piece of paper into another. So I always give myself a little bit of challenge just because I tend to make things that I have never made, and it just like came to me, and there's no tutorial for them, and I'm just kind of like, what am I doing? So this will be one of those. And I'm like, now I think I would have rather made a rounded rainbow, like a more snake-like beams instead of this like very two-dimensional. I was thinking I would make it like a pin or something. So I think that's why I thought this was a really good idea. But you can always fix it. That's what's like really cool I say cool. Like, I think needle felting is cool, but whatever. Uh, it's okay if you don't. It's very nerdy, but it's very like grandma, like cozy kind of, like just I don't know. But you're like stabbing with a needle, so it's kind of violent at the same time. But you're not like hurting anyone. You're not hurting yourself. It's great for anyone that has just like twitchy tendencies. If you've got like some sort of like OCD or ADHD kind of just always constantly fidgeting. This is such a good hobby for that. Like it just keeps you like so busy, your fingers. I unfortunately like pick at my fingers, pick at my nails. So I actually kind of picked this up to like stop myself from doing that. And it just turned out like that I really, really love it. So yeah, I'm just pushing the fibers into the other fibers, and the notches in the needle kind of tie them in a knot of sorts, like get them all tangled up together so that they can stay. So since I started being into really like into needle felting, my mom like she's just kind of a shopaholic, so she'll like whenever she sees anything needle felted, she usually like picks it up for me. And she went to Barnes and Nobles today, and there's these like they're really cute, like really cute needle felted mice. They're for two of them. They were $30, so that was kind of insane. It was a really nice gift from my mom. Definitely study the competition of sorts. But man, they were just. I mean, when I guess you're at that level if you're commercializing like all your products, like you can't hand knit hand needle felt thousands and thousands of mice that go out all at one time to nationwide Barnes and Nobles stores. So you gotta kind of have to give some concessions, I guess, when it comes to your process and how your items are made. But I mean, they were just sort of lightly needle felted, not with any sort of like good pressure of the needle, good knots of the needle. It was all really light. I literally could like rip off an ear if I wanted to, but I didn't want to because they were really cute. They were $30, and they were just kind of like super glued. Like the head was super glued to the neck, and it was just like, damn, like there's something to say about some things that are handmade. I mean, especially if it's from someone who just like really is overly a perfectionist and wants everything to look good, because this mouse was not made by a perfectionist. It was probably made by someone who's getting paid absolutely nothing in some other nation. So they're like, who the fuck cares who gets this mouse? I'm just gonna try to get through this day without crying or something like terrible and just get paid pennies to make fucking mice for Barnes and Noble's people. But I won't go down that rant. But back to the mice. Yeah. So this blue is like obviously way thicker than the pink. Definitely wanted to have more structure. I think this is going to have to be something else. Maybe it'll go with my other ones. I made two other ones too, so you guys could see me kind of decide like what to do. Or I could have this one like standing up like a little bit more. Like it could be like on the shelf or something. You could like turn it. You could see the trans flag that way. The trans colors, I guess, because the trans flag actually has like two blues and two pinks, I think. Two more lines, stripes. So they could see it that way. That might be really nice. Like just standing up, they're all the same size. This one, I think to finish it off though, like I'll just pull some wool from my pack, my bundle of wool. But yeah, fuck what's happening to the government right now. If you're in that sort of mood, there was so much shit today that went down. Like I could not read it all. Like it was bonkers. And like I know that's their whole tactic. Like make so much damn noise that like no one can do anything. And like I really do worry that like they've stunted like any people that actually have the power to do anything. Like I think they've overwhelmed them almost, or everything that they could do would take forever, like legal, lawsuits and stuff. But I mean, people are definitely trying. Lots of lawsuits in play right now. So let's here hope that something can be done to stop them. So I'm going to roll this up. So one thing with needle felting, when you have your wool, you definitely want to make sure that whatever shape you're making, like you're tight, like it's tight. And I'm gonna just start. I need to make this flat to match the other ones, and since I don't feel like using my cookie cutter mold anymore, I'm just gonna have to needle felt it into the pink. I think that's okay because I'm gonna do it's gonna like sandwich this white. One thing I will do though is like flip this pretty often so that I don't necessarily like needle felt this onto the pad because that's like the last thing you want to do. And I guess what I could do too is like build this shape up even more once the three colors are together, and then you can kind of layer and just sculpt. That's where needle felting kind of becomes like if you were using clay. Once you have your like your armature or like just some sort of foundational structure, then you can like create any shape from it. It's so awesome. Like you just put some wool on there and go to town with a needle. And man, there's like needle felters out there to do like, photorealistic like dog replicas or any sort of animal. Like it's wild. Like it's so cool. And I mean, it looks like damn near real. Like, and sometimes you'll see a picture of it online. You're just like when it's a small thumbnail, you're like, oh, that's a cute real sheep, like real life sheep. And then you go in and you're just like, holy shit, that's needle felted. So, and then there's other people, like there's one guy who does a ton of like look-alike dolls of like tons of different movie characters, and he's done like a lot of Gary Oldman because Gary Oldman has like commissioned his own little sculpture, little needle felted dolls, and this guy is such an awesome artist and he's able to do it. And they look just like the characters, so it's like you can do anything with this, including making a little bit of a rainbow that we're just trying. We're trying. This is the first time. This is the prototype. I kind of was just like angry and wanted to like, just be angry and stab something, but make something good. Like make something that makes someone feel a little bit better. Like even if it's just like the tiniest thing and they're just laughing at me, this rainbow is so little, like sad looking. But it's also like, say like, I see you. You're real. Like someone fucking decided to do a find and replace, and that's what sucks. Like it's just, oh, thanks for the follow. I hope you like what you're seeing. But yeah, like man, someone just decided to go into this computer system, like go into the thing that we rely on every day to like provide us with food, water, shelter, like all these things, and they're just fucking it up. And then they're saying that people don't exist, and we know they exist. And it's kind of like, the whole DEI list, like it's like women are on there, the word black is on there, the word Latino, like trans, like just fucked up stuff. Like we exist, we're all people, we see each other, like, and that just makes me so sad. And I just feel like, I'm sure like it's just a devastating day for like so many people. And I mean, government's like never been the best thing ever, but at least they acknowledged you. So when they're trying to ban you or say that you don't exist, and it's something that's not easy for people to see and have evidence of, it's just like, I'm sure that just like does a number on you to be like, do I really, like, am I worthy? Like, I'm just so sorry. And I mean, just being like a bi person too, like it's like I'm on that list. Like there's only 3 letters now. Like it used to feel so much fuller. Like it used to feel like, I know, like all of us groups like see eye to eye on some things, but like, man, it just it kept growing. Like I saw it go from like just calling people gay to like and lesbians to like way more than that. And it's been exciting and cool and amazing to see people getting to be themselves. And I don't know, it just makes me like real fucking mad that they could just find and replace that. Like, and they know it matters and they know it's a big deal and they know that they're gonna get their base all riled up and cray cray. And oof, I'm so sorry for like any sort of person that like has a need to see a perfect rainbow, because this is not the perfect rainbow, but it's fine. I think I need to like really tighten up this rainbow though, so that it's like it's actually like proportionate in how much white versus pink versus blue I have. Or should I just give up and work on the other one? Because the other one might have more of a chance of being something. Well, maybe I got it okay. Oh, thank you. I'm like the queen of just like giving myself a hard time, especially when it comes to like art stuff, you know? I don't know if you guys have any like things like that on your list, or like every time I cook, like if it's not a certain way, like I'm just so hard on myself. And I can't say I relate to that one because I do not cook. I don't, well, I can cook eggs and I can cook pasta and I can cook those like HelloFresh boxes, but those take a lot of time and attention. So anyone making meals like that on a regular basis, like good for you. You have talent and dedication and discipline that like I only reserve for needle felting, because I could stab this thing thousands of times and maybe some people just can relate in other ways. Like chopping an onion might feel like really good to you. Like it's kind of like that, because like, oh man, like knives, I like to watch a lot of Top Chef, and it is so cool to see what a person can do with a knife. And like all those like action movies too, and like I just like rewatch for the millionth time, like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and like the things they do with weapons. But I'm also like, is that more CGI, or like I guess it's like the stunt double maybe, and like a weapons person who's like amazing. Like that's cool to see in real life. But something about someone with a knife cutting up a carrot is just like very satisfying. Oh, I'm like totally off the screen too. My bad. So maybe that's what someone sees when they watch me. I might make this a pin, y'all, and like just call this backside, like just never have anyone ever see it. Or if it could trim some of it down. But like another cool thing about needle felting is no matter what mistakes you make, you can just undo it. It's so awesome. You could just pull this white motherfucker out and just be done with it, and say, I don't like you. I'm making a smaller white piece and I'm going to put it in. I mean, you're adding in another 30, 40 minutes of stabbing to your project, but you could take it out. I could even put some eyes on this guy too. If I wanted to do like a little smiley face rainbow, that's something to consider too. Like actually making him kind of like a lovable human-ish robot. But I'm gonna put more pink on it too. This kind of gets into like 2D felting, which like it's I guess like it's almost like painting with felt, and I have yet to do it. I guess this could be, you say, like if I start felting on top of this, to add more white, add more pink, just more depth, and make it more like 3D rather than 2D. I guess the painting stuff is cool. Like I still need to watch a bunch of videos about it, because I don't know how they do it really, but I mean they like blend colors just like you would be painting with a paintbrush, but they do it with a piece of wool that they just put on and needle felt on, and it is amazing to see like what they come out with. So see, I'm like, oh, I got that blue and the pink. You can just take it out, and you can get like a seam ripper. You can get some clippers. Like there's so many different ways that you could take apart your project. Scissors even if you wanted to, and it would be totally fine. Like you never even did what you got rid of, and that is pretty satisfying in its way too. To like just that undo button, which I don't know if you guys see, but I paint on Wednesdays live, and so I paint dog portraits, but I use my iPad and a program called Procreate, and that with an eraser and an undo button and a lasso tool, like you can just make anything, and it's not like this blank canvas where you just like, used $40 of paint, like acrylics or oil, and you're like, fuck, what do I have now? Ugly piece of shit. But yeah, I think I need to learn to be a little nicer to myself. But yeah, not about me. About why and how we got to the state that we're in, who the hell knows, and the country that we're in. But I mean, trans people, like, they existed before these a-holes, and they'll exist after. But it's like, I thought we were really getting someplace. I mean, obviously, like, if you live in Texas or Louisiana, like, you are not getting what you needed. But elsewhere people were and are still, but it's getting dark real fast. It's getting bad real fast. Like, we need someone with some power to come in and do something, because everyday people, I mean, we can definitely protest. We can call our senators, all our representatives, like we can call them nonstop. Like, I think 5calls.org, like make 5 phone calls every other day and just overwhelm these offices of these people who have the power to do something. Like, figure it the fuck out. Like, or at least in the vicinity of these people that are just like wiping turds all over what America is supposed to be, which is a place for everyone. So I don't know. And my mom's like first gen, and so my grandma, like, she's not from America. She came here in the 50s. Like, this place is for everyone, right? Like, that's what I think, at least. And obviously you can disagree, and we can fucking hate each other without even knowing it. But it's like, this place was built for everyone. The people, like, we've done some really dirty shit in the past, like, but like, there's good people out there. There's good people here. Like, most of the people that get shit on were the ones like making our country amazing. Like, they made us great. Like, Black people, like Latinos, like Asians, like Indians, everyone coming from all these different places. Even when they like talk shit on the Irish, when there was that many white people, like Native Americans, good God, like, they were here first. And it's just like, God, why do we just shit on people so hard? Yeah, it's very eloquent of me, but I did take a gummy and I'm very tired. And I read way too much ridiculous news today. And for all the people that lost their job in the government, like, for all the people that felt like they were just completely erased and their history was erased today, like, I'm so fucking sorry. And like, I don't know, just hearing about, like, I know it's like, it's a website and it's the internet and you can get lots of information about Stonewall everywhere. Like, but when it's like your government doing that to you, like, oof, like, that feels real fucking personal. And again, cruel. And like, you can go read about it, but it's like, man, they hit their government website fast too. So it's like, what's step fucking 4 and 5? Like, what does that look like? Like, books and journalists who cover all of those topics, like I don't know, like, stay safe, y'all. Like, but also be loud. Like, I know, like, we're just people, we're not elected officials, but I guess you don't have to be an elected official to like do something. But billions and billions of dollars help certain people do. And I don't know what I was saying. Okay, it looks a little bit better. One thing you may not be able to tell is that they're all kind of different sizes, but in terms of like width, not width, but depth. Um, and that's okay too, because another hack is you can just take like a straightener, or you can take like an iron, and you can just flatten it. And you can make it all the same kind of weight from a 2D like line perspective. Um, and these tiny details. Have any of you guys ever needle felted before? It's so fun. It's really affordable to get started. But once you get into it and you just want to buy like all the wool, like that's where you just gotta watch yourselves. There's not as many wool options as say like knitters. Like it's not like you go into like Joann's and see all the fabric and yarn. It's not like that. It's not as accessible. It's hard to find like, where should I source my wool? And like, is this kit okay? And are these needles going to be good? But honestly, that's all you need. You just need wool and this needle, and then like some sort of foam or like felt pad. So, and this is actually both because it gives me a little bit more height. So I'm like evening out this rainbow a little bit more. It's not as terrible as I thought it would be, which is really nice. Needle felting, you can do so much with like what you do. So I can show you like I'm mid project on this guy. I've shown him before, but he's like a little giraffe for my friends, like I think 5 or 6 year old. So oh yay, someone's needle felted. It looks like I've tried it. It turned out okay. Like my first one was rough. Like my toddler just pulled it apart and like destroyed it. It was nowhere near like as stiff as it needed to be. Obviously, it did not have an armature inside of it like this guy is. He's got pipe cleaners inside of him. And I mean, that first project was terrible. Like she thought she was like helping me or something. Like she took the toy that I made, and then she just like pulled his eyes off and his legs off immediately. So like she's not my tester for durability. But yeah, so the first project was rough, especially when I got to see it like be completely mauled by a 2 year old. And then I've also like done things like this. Like this is a snake. He's also for a friend's like maybe older kid. So that's been fun. Like you literally like can make whatever. Like, yeah, toddler requested this. I've made chickens. I'm making a rainbow now. It's really nice. You just like take this, I said wine, this wool, and then you just like come up with whatever. And like there's some cool like videos on YouTube. Like there's some like good tutorials I think out there that you can just get started with. There's kits everywhere. Like Amazon has a ton. I really don't want to be supporting Bezos right now, but Amazon technically owns Twitch, so there's that whole conflict of interest there for me. No, I'm not sponsored by anyone, guys. Like I have 3 followers now, so I don't think many people are gonna see this if I talk shit, or if it's like last week tonight and John Oliver like used to make fun of AT&T when he owned them, and would say business daddy. So I guess Twitch and Amazon, like Amazon's kind of the business daddy of Twitch. Also, if any of you guys watched last week tonight and are so excited for John Oliver to get the fuck back here, I'm like, I need him so badly, please. Like just there's so much, I don't know, confirmation that happens when you like watch that show. You're like, okay, I'm not the person who just goes rants on like tragic things all the time, or like, I mean, maybe some people find him insufferable for his rants as well, but I'm just like, I feel very seen just by him, and just also like a little bit more comforted. He takes that whole like, what can we do about this? Like there's always a solution. He's always able to find it. And also he's just like, is so funny. Love John Oliver. He just does the silliest things. Like he's made like literal like he's invented mascots for like Japanese cities, like, and sent them over there. I think he got married to a head of lettuce. That's cool. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the snake. Like, that was, I'm in the process of making another one too. So if you have 3 favorite colors, I would be happy to make him that color because I haven't decided. The last one I did was orange, purple, and white. So I think it could probably be maybe a different kind of take on anything really. Or if you don't have 3 colors that you like, you could do like your favorite fruit, and I could just be inspired by that fruit and make the snake and inspired by that. Yeah. But John Oliver is amazing. And I'm like really obsessed with the musical Cats, and I'm like not embarrassed by it. Like, I've just been obsessed with it forever. And John Oliver actually did have some people dressed as cats on his show. Oh, dark green and purple. Yes. Okay. Awesome. I like that. Gonna definitely make a snake that's dark green and purple. Let me write that down on my sticky note. Because I guess I have this chat here I could always refer back to. But I think they like get rid of it eventually. But dark green and purple snake. Thank you. Okay. I will keep you posted. Get some water. So, making this second trans flag rainbow, or trans flag colors rainbow. I don't, because it's not, like, I guess if it was the literal, I've been reading a lot of Amelia Bedelia, so she's very literal, if anyone knows, to my toddler. But if we were going to do the actual trans flag as a rainbow, I think it would be more blue stripes and more pink stripes, and maybe also more white stripes. No, just one white stripe in the middle of the 2 pinks and then the 2 blues. So if I was making a literal flag replica but rainbow form, then I would have 2 more things. But I kind of like what's happening here on the side. I think that looks really nice. I don't know. I might need to like really, think through what I actually end up doing with this, because it just looks nice. Whoever picked those colors for the trans flag, like, bravo, because it's just like very pretty. I also like the bi flag. I mean, I am biased, but I think the bi flag is like pretty fucking cool. There's not as much contrast in the bi flag, but I still think it's like adorable. I like the vibe. So let's see. So it's not going to be, and again, it's because I made them with this cookie cutter tool that I had. It's actually clay cutter. Let's see if I can find it in my bag. Oh yeah, I put it in here. So it's just like these little metal like clay cutters. So, and then I just like stuffed wool in here. And you can use a big cookie cutter if you find one. You want to do a big thing. I've seen tons of people do that and it turns out great. Like, you just put more. I just made mine really thin, and I should have made mine fatter. But you just like stuff the wool in there and like push it in. And you could even like twist it up a little bit if it was like to give it, so it kind of helps with the needle poking, decrease the pokes. So you just stuff that in there and then start needle felting and then turn it around. And once it kind of gets its shape, you can pull it out and then start rounding it, which I really should have done. But on this one, but I didn't. And again, this is what happens. Like, your Gandalf just gets really fucking weird and too light and looks like his hat is part of his skin. And it's just like totally, like, I just jumped in. I was like, I'm going to do Gandalf tonight. Let's go. That's kind of, I hope, part of the fun of the process. Unless that's everyone expects just amazing, amazing work. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. And I would say sometimes the edible kicks in, and then you're just like, it's just really not going to happen here. I need to be way more together, or awake, I guess. Sober is the right word. Okay, so I'm definitely going to need more white on this side because it's looking like it almost looks pink and it's sad. So, and I feel like I've just lost all the roundedness, and I've lost the pink in the middle because I made it flat. I was thinking maybe I could like, also, any like really good needle felters are here, they would like have so much to say about this of like, oh, your like white layer, all 3 layers were not stiff enough. I didn't give enough pokes because the more pokes you do, the harder something is. So therefore it won't get squished when you do it. It's really nice and thick and like just almost hard to squeeze is where it's like one of my first ones I did. So here, I mean, it's like so squishable. Like if I gave this to my toddler, his legs would be gone. Like I didn't give him enough wool either, but he's so squishy and soft. I love it. I just keep him away from her in a safe spot. So you could do them really fluffy. Like I've seen people sell fluffy things. They're just so fragile. They are not toys. They are more like little figurines, and they keep their fluff and they're very soft. Whereas some of these other ones, when you give them like the stiff felt felted feel, then I mean it's not squishy in any way. Okay, there's things in my head that I'm like, these could be worked on, and these could be I can salvage these two. Like in my head I'm like, I won't be able to do it in this session, but I'm thinking like, stab the shit out of this just in general. See what you end up with, like how much of the blue, pink, yellow. Round it out, like really, really round the sides to give it this like nice worm thickness. Brain worms. Fuck RFK Jr. I saw this illustration today, this political cartoon, and it was like it was kind of this like, whatever the symbol is for the HHS. It was just some beautiful swirly gold type emblem, and then it had some brain worms destroying it. Well, like there were worms, like they didn't necessarily, I don't know if brain worms probably look different than like regular worms. So these were like kind of like sci-fi kind of worms taking apart. They didn't look like regular worms. You knew that they were like really fucked up and like deadly or something. And then obviously like if like you could just, the whole post on Blue Sky was like, what do you call those? Just like post tweets? Like, can we just call them tweets? But like you could tell that it was like a government thing and worms were eating it. And since he just got confirmed yesterday, it's like, oh, 2 and 2 together. No shit. Okay, those are brain worms. Just tearing apart the symbol of health and safety in this fucking country. And if you're like not a news junkie, you're not aware of this, and you just came here for the needle felting, I put a label there. I said I was talking about sensitive issues and like shit that's going down. Like, oh, it makes me so sad. It's like I knew it was coming. I knew this was gonna happen. Like, man, like so many reasons why it happened. Just unfortunate. Beyond the word unfortunate, devastating, terrible. But just knew it was coming. But I mean, AOC's been amazing. I love her. She's just been loud. And you just got it. That's what you got to do. Again, like squeaky wheel. And we just need more people to be loud. And like, I know, yeah, you can you can be loud. I know the Democrats are like bitching because they they were like, you're calling us too much and we can't do anything. We're the minority. And it's kind of like, dude, like, those guys aren't playing by the rules. Like, you can't use I don't know. Like, it's just, you give a little with the rules and figure it the fuck out. Like, you are smarter than them. Or maybe you're not. But I feel like you're just like kind of complacent and being like, we're the minorities. We can't do anything. Like, we can just ask nicely. And it's like, no, fucking don't ask nicely. We need Billy the Butcher up in here. But I don't know. He kind of hates everyone. I don't know if that's good, but I don't know if anyone watches The Boys, but I feel like they definitely knew what was coming. Oh. I need the boys to come back to tell me how it ends, like how the bad guys lose. But you know, if they're like one of those shows that like the bad guys will always win. I don't know. And hopefully no one tells them to like bend the knee and then Homelander just like wins. Oh, this one is like so smushed on this side. It's so funny looking. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry y'all. I'm gonna start the rounding process. And you can see, oh, it just already feels really good. It feels good because I know I'm gonna make it infinitely better by making it curvier. Maybe it'll just end up looking like a lifesaver or something, like a trans lifesaver candy. That'd be kind of fun actually, because you could swirl all of the colors together. You could make some really fun trans lifesavers. Oh, that sounds, the literal sounding of that makes me sad though. The colors are so pretty. And again, if you've had a tough day, like as most people have tough days right now, like you're not alone. And it's not like a good like misery loves company, not like that, like not like satisfied that like other people are also sad. It's just like more like I see you and I understand, and like you have community and you have safety, and like, this is just another safe space for now, because who knows what the heck they'll do to social and streaming and stuff. I'm sure it's in there. I'm sure it's in Project 2025, but I don't really know. Because that thing is like 900 pages long. Like, it's so long. It's like if they put a timeline in there, it's like you can get a sense of when. Did they put it is it all in a row? Like, I don't even know. Like, is it like we do this first and then we do that first and second and then third, and I don't know. So one thing that gets tough with needle felting is that like you see these holes going into like your soft silky wool and you're kind of like, oh, it makes me sad. But if you poke enough and you like refine it, like, or you put like another layer of wool over top of it and then you go in with like a finer or higher gauge needle, you can like get some of that silky back, like on just the top like thin layer, but the base of it can all be poked wholly. I always feel weird that like when I'm on here and I don't. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I didn't look at my chat. Sorry. I think the best thing a show like The Boys could do for the ending would be gritty, but hopefully one. Oh yeah. Oh, but a hopeful one. Yeah, I mean it's got to be gritty for sure. Like people like everyone's gone. Everyone's gone. Like it's gonna be a little rough. Like it's not like in those ACOTAR books where like all your favorite people are just like good to go, but like in every battle, just like you're like I'm fine. But yeah, the boys like no one's gonna be fine. Like maybe no one and none of them last. It's gonna be insane, but it'll be funny. But yeah, hopefully hopeful. We need that. We just like we need the bad guys to lose. We need to get like a little hope in here, a little action, like get everyone going. Like I said, like there's totally so many different ways to get involved and say no and be loud about saying no. Because like if you were like, called someone and called your senator, called your rep, like, you're just like another person to like push them in the right direction. And like that's super important because at some point, every like all those people that called them, like at some point someone was like, I can't take this calls anymore. We need to have a meeting with all the Democrats, get in here. And then maybe they came up with something good. It sounds like they were just like bitching about the fact that too many people are calling them. But even like the fact that they got to write a news article about that and other people are like, oh, we should call. Okay, let's call. Like, let's just keep like just more and more and more. Like, I know some people think I'm only one person. It doesn't matter, but there's always like that last person that does like that is the tipping point, like is the thing that like makes something go off, and that's just one person. That last person is just one person, like the one person, this 60,000 people in North Carolina that like helped beat out this like certain Supreme Court judge, like that last person. Those last 6,000, 60,000, like, they're just a bunch of individuals. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's where I think one person can make a difference. Like, that last person did. So I don't know. But you can make calls, you can send emails. Like, I use ResistBot, which is awesome because then they just get everything drafted for you and they just send it. And then you get to see, like, your representatives like response on this, and like I learned that one guy is just like a total jackass and he's super into RFK Jr. and I was like, oh god, like I get, my emails will just annoy him. Like they will never annoy him to probably change his mind. Maybe not. Maybe one day. No, they just ignore the emails if they're that much of an asshole, I guess. But if you're like sort of on the fence and you can kind of tell they're on the fence, like maybe then you step it up from emailing to calling, and maybe you could have actual conversation. I don't know if they ever actually talk to someone. I know their staffers do, but I don't know. And then if you have Democrats, like definitely be calling them because obviously it annoys the shit out of some of them. So maybe it'll get them to do something to get you guys to just stop the calls. I don't know if any of them were like brought up to be like as terrible of people as our current administration, but it's like they gotta have it kind of in them somewhere. Like, don't all humans sort of, like, I don't know, reach down in that space, you privileged motherfucker who we pay with our tax dollars. Like, fucking do something. And then some people, go out and protest. Some people make art to protest. Like, oh man, like there's some political comics out there that just visualize something that can't even be explained accurately. Like, but somehow like a drawing and a comic illustration, it really does. Like, just, it's powerful shit. Let's see. Okay. Well, I've been here for a while. I definitely, unfortunately, going to call it a night, but I'm so glad you guys could come hang out and, watch me needle felt. And, if you aren't like as up to date with some of the news, I know it's totally, that's totally natural and normal because holy shit, I'm weird and probably have too much time to read. But I think that it's okay if it's overwhelming because, like, fuck, like, it is. And it's okay that you're out of the loop. Like, 'cause there's too much stuff. There's too much stuff going on. So, maybe it's like find one issue that means a lot to you and focus on that. Or, like, learn about one if you don't know about any of them. There's so many things under fire right now. But I think that, the more we talk about it and the more we learn about it, like, maybe, like, there's some good can come from it, some action for sure. Like, I just want anyone out there who's trans and has loved ones in the trans community, or just, like, feels really, it's just like, we see you, like, you're real, like, you matter, like, don't let those bastards grind you down. Like, keep up. Like, people, there's lots of us that are here for you and will fight for you, and because they're just coming for us next. And a lot of people that felt like they were erased this week, and that's absolutely terrible. And, like, DI is what built this country. Like, that's my rant. Like, it made America great. Like, immigrants got shit done. Like, like, all this. Oh, I could go on forever. But stay strong. There's light somewhere. We just got to find it. Keep moving. Keep showing up, doing what you need to do. Talk to you guys later.